everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who subscribed. Thank you for all the comments as well, even though some people didn't want to comment on YouTube, but they've been sending me messages on my Facebook and my Instagram. I appreciate the feedback, and I'm happy that people are getting help from the information that I'm sharing. Also, please don't forget to click the red bell next to the subscribe button so that you get notified every time I upload a video on YouTube. Yeah. So basically, this is a continuation of the first episode about divorce and you know, everything else that I've shared. I've decided to give you a picture of the events leading up to the divorce, and also stuff that happened during the divorce. But I understand that I think it's very important for me to share with you first how we met, you know, so that you get a picture of what happened before everything else happened. So basically, we met at varsity. I know some girls and some women are lucky enough to meet a guy that has it all. That was not the case for me. So we met at varsity. I'm doing my first year for my BCom at the time, and I think he was doing his third year. And we happened to stay in the same res, and we just met one day on a telecom phone, you know, one of those blue telecom phones. So we just met there, and I happened to know like who's who in the course that we're doing, because I wanted to be so good at it. I wanted to know who to ask if I needed information, you know, and I knew that he was one of the bright guys at varsity. So I had courage to just introduce myself when he was done making a call, and I told him I'm doing the same course and I'm his junior and I'd like to get some help with my work, and he was happy to help. And he told me, well, this is my room number, I stay in this place, you can come visit me anytime. Long story short, I went to his place and he helped me with whatever I was looking for, and I got great marks for it. So after the initial meeting, he asked me on a date. He was not my type at all. He was short, he was a bit chubby. I was into tall guys, you know, athletic, you know, that's what I was into. So I said yes to the date, and we ended up going on a date, and we became a couple. And then after some time, so when he finished his course, he decided that he wants to travel the world and explore, and so I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna stand between you and your dreams. Go travel the world. Like, we don't have to be together, because I didn't want the stress of going through a long distance relationship. So we broke up at the time. So both of us were not from rich families. We didn't have much at varsity. You know, we would at times we would eat Weet-Bix like morning, afternoon, and night, but we were okay. We were happy to share whatever we have with each other, until we got help from NSFAS to help pay for our fees and everything else. So that's how it started. That's how the relationship started around 2003, 2004. Well, the breakup lasted until he called me from, I think he was in Singapore at this time. That would have been around 2007, telling me how sorry he was for breaking up with me all those years, how he has missed me, and he's coming home for good, and he wants to start a family, and he would like to try again. Long story short, we went on a date again when he came back, and we were back together. Now, back to the divorce. While we were waiting for the courts to do their thing with regards to the divorce, this is what went down at home. I've never told anyone about this. I've never even told my family about the details of what was happening, because I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. One, I didn't want to be going around sharing stories about, you know, him. And I mean, he was already doing a great job at that, because he was telling everyone different stories, like trying to get everyone to hate me, or to think I'm a bad person, or to prove to them that I'm an unfit wife. So that was not my thing. And I was like ready for people to judge me based on whatever they've heard. You know, I didn't care actually. To be honest, I could care less really. So yeah, so this is what happened. Um, yeah, this one is a bit difficult for me to share, but I I I have to. So the first thing that happened is I was starved at home. Um, Food would be hidden from me. Perhaps he wanted me to die of hunger. I don't know what was the purpose. But anyway, he would cook food in front of me, and he would give my daughter food, and just and my daughter shame, she would want to share with mommy, because she couldn't understand why is mommy not eating when we are eating. And he would shout at my daughter for wanting to share with me, and tell her like she's gonna leave this house just like his mommy, like because mommy doesn't belong there. He would buy everything that he knows that I like to eat, and actually like sit in front of me and eat it. For him, uh, uh, um, like, to be honest, I felt sorry for him for all of this. I I just looked at what he was doing in front of his daughter, and for me, I was just thinking, I can't believe that you're doing this in front of your daughter. Like, what are you trying to teach your child? Because I have taught my child to share, and it's natural for kids to want to share everything that they have. Um, and I was feeling sorry for him, because I knew that what he's doing, his child will never forget. I mean, my daughter is watching him do this. I could see my child was hurt. I think that was one of the things that that broke me, that crushed my heart, because I could see that my child was hurt. Even though she can't say anything, she can't do anything. At times she would sneak a drumstick to mommy, and she would tell me, "Mommy, eat quickly so that he doesn't see you. Otherwise, I'm gonna be in trouble." And we would just laugh about it. And because I didn't want her to see mommy hurt. I didn't want her to see mommy crying. But I was so sad when she would do that, because I would see the look in her eyes. I would see that she wanted to save mommy, but she couldn't. She's just a child. She can't do much. So he would cook food, man, and he would hide the food in his car. He would drive around the whole day with a meal in his car. I mean, the Cape Town sun is hot. He wouldn't put the food in the fridge. So when he would come home, he would then take out the pots from his car and warm the food and eat. The only time he would leave food in the fridge is when it's about to expire, or or when it has expired. Um, you know, as much as that I had nothing at the time, as much as that I had no food to eat, I never asked anyone. I never called anyone to tell them about what I'm going through. I never went to my neighbors to ask for food. I think that is just how I was brought up. We were never taught to beg for anything. We were taught to work for everything that we want in life. So he cooked up a plan to get me arrested, so that I get a restraining order and I'm not able to work anywhere in the country. I got a restraining order against him because of the verbal, emotional, and physical abuse he was doing. And he was told by the court to keep his side of the house. We were just told to stay out of each other's way. To counter this, he also went to court to get a restraining order against me. He told the court that I'm actually the one that is abusing him, and he wants me out of his house as soon as possible. And the court told him this is not possible because the divorce is still pending. The date is still pending. Until the divorce is finalized, then something will happen. But that's not about to happen now. So now we have to restraining orders against each other. We're staying in the same house. I don't know how we are going to be able to stay out of each other's way. But luckily, the house is big enough for both of us. One day he came back home from work, and he was trying to provoke me, trying to make me fight with him, and yelling and screaming and telling me all the bad things again, to try and get my blood boiling. I'm cool, I'm chilled. I'm like, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction, say whatever, do whatever. He would even mention things about my family, all the things, man, that you would share with your partner, all the things that get you down, and the kind of stuff that is personal that you would share with someone that you think loves you. He would bring that stuff up, even things from my past, things from my childhood that that he knows would make me sad. But I kept quiet, like I didn't say anything. So on the day he took my child to one of my friends, he had lied to the friend about what was going on in the house. He had told my friend that I'm cheating on him and I'm not able to look after the child. He came back from Joburg, and I don't know what was the real story, but now I heard this after it happened, and the friend believed him, and apparently they ended up sleeping together for whatever reason. I remember one day my daughter came back and told me, Mommy, who so-and-so's mother invited Daddy for dinner, and we were there to eat dinner. Why didn't you come? And I didn't know what to say, because this person used to be my friend, and now is inviting my ex-husband to come to her house for dinner. But anyway, so he took my child to this person, and when he came back, I asked him, where's my daughter? And he said, no, she wanted to go sleep over. But she didn't tell me, and I knew that was a lie, because she would have told me if she wanted to go and sleep over anyway. I kept quiet, man. I was depleted. Like I was just tired. I didn't want to be arguing or going to confront the friend or call the friend or anything like that. So I decided to go and take a shower and go to bed. When I was done with the shower, there was a knock on the door, and the police came in. The police said, we are here to arrest you because your husband has opened a case against you at the Tableview police station. He says that you have been, you went against the restraining order. You were shouting at him and you were screaming at him. And so I told them that he's lying, but they didn't hear me. So they said, ma'am, we are not here to discuss that. You will discuss that with the judge. I think it was on a Sunday. So on Monday I would go to court. So they said, well, since it's a Sunday, tomorrow morning you'll get to discuss this with the judge. You'll tell your side of the story. Right now, we are not here for that. So I'm wearing my gown. I'm ready to sleep. I say, okay. I got inside the van, and that day I slept in a police cell in Cape Town. But before they booked me, there were lots of policemen around on the night shift. So most of them would come to me and they would ask me, like, Sissy, what are you doing here? Like, you don't look like you belong here. What happened? Tell us what happened. And then I would tell them the story. And shame, man, they they were feeling sorry for me. I think most of them were feeling sorry for me. And so anyway, I went to court the following morning. And the judge didn't even ask me any questions. He just told me to go home. And one policeman offered to take me home because I didn't even have a wallet with me. I mean, I didn't even have time for anything. And they I can't remember if they took my phone. No, they only took my phone when they were about to put me in the cell. So I had called a friend of mine on my way to the police station while I was on the van, and Shaman, my friend, was going crazy, and she wanted to come to the police station that night, and I told her, no, it's fine, don't come. Another one was trying to help me. She called someone who was close to me at that time, like to tell them like I've been arrested, and maybe I might need bail tomorrow, because we didn't know what was happening. But luckily, as God would have it, I was out in the morning, and I went home, and the case ended there. So on the way home, while I'm driving with this policeman, he looks at me and he says to me, Sissy, I think you need to get out of this marriage. Otherwise, you are just going to be one of these women that get killed by men each and every day. We have a lot of cases like yours that started like yours. And I would really hate to see you dead one day. So the sooner you get out of this house and leave this man, the better. And that hit me so hard, because I knew I didn't want to be one of those women. I knew that I have to do everything that it takes to make sure that I'm not one of those, that I would leave to tell my story, just like I'm doing now. Getting me arrested didn't work. Now there was another plan to discredit me. There was a smear campaign against me, where my friends, well, those I thought were friends at the time, were told stories, different stories about me, about how unworthy I am, and about how unfit I am as a mother and a wife. Apparently, I was a drunk. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't like his mother. I didn't want to work. All I wanted to do was to eat his money. I didn't get along with a lot of people, you know. Well, this is something that narcissists do, you know. I knew that I was married to a narc. I knew that for sure. But I only discovered this during the divorce. Because, you know, when things happen in your life and you try to, well, that's what I did. I tried to research, what kind of person acts like this? What kind of person does this kind of things? Because there were other petty things that he would do. And for some reason, I just thought, no, man, this person is not okay. There's something that's not right here. I mean, there's something that's not right mentally, you know? So I had to do research and find out, like, what kind of sickness could this be? And I got to the narcissist, and I watched videos because I wanted to understand like what types of humans are these. And I got to understand that, no, man, when you're in a relationship with a narc, at first they tell you how much they love you, they are there for you, and they understand you and all of these things. But the time comes when they don't want you. Now they want everybody else to hate you. They discredit you by telling people lies about you, because they want people to see you the way that they see you. And they want people to understand that when they get a new person to replace you, They want people to be like, no, it's okay, because that one was not worth it anyway. Um, yeah, they want everyone to see you as a bad person, not worthy of anything, and they want people to think that you deserve everything that they're doing to you. Yeah, so in my case, when he came back from Joburg, I think he came back after 8 months. We had not seen him for 8 months in that year. So he came back home. When he came back home to tell me that he wants a divorce, he actually told me that I actually found someone who is better than you. And she is climbing the corporate ladder, and that is the kind of wife that I want. And she has a mother. She's very close to her mother. You don't even have parents, so you wouldn't understand. I mean, me and her, we understand each other because we were brought up by our mothers. And his mother loves this woman. And I mean, that was a way to tell me that my mother already knows the person. So I just kept quiet, man. I just looked at him. I think by this time I had thick skin. So anytime he would try to do something to me, I won't look away. Like, I would look at him just so he can know that I hear what you are saying. But I'm not gonna answer. I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to argue with you. It's fine, I've heard you. So he told me that he's already staying with this person in Joburg. This is before we got married. This is before we got the divorce. He's already staying with a person in Joburg, and she's very fit to be a wife. And yeah, he's ready to marry them. So I said, okay, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. I mean, if you feel that you found love, and since I'm unfit, and you found the person who is fit, then it's fine. So the truth of the matter is, I had to come to terms with the fact that I was dealing with a mama's boy, someone who literally worshipped his mother, someone who would do anything his mother tells him. You know, one of those men that get married, but they would never cut their umbilical cord. I know there is a scripture in the Bible, I just forgot where it is, where it says about marriage that a man needs to leave his family and be joined to his wife. A man would leave his mother and be equally joined to his wife. That never happened with me. Well, I was never friends with his mother. I mean, I tried to get along with her. I mean, I respected her for bringing him into this world. I respected her as a single mother with 3 kids, because I could understand that it was difficult for her to look after them. But she never accepted me. She just always saw me as this person that came to take her son away from her golden son, because he was the favorite at home and he was the breadwinner at home as well. And some of you, I'm sure you would know how it goes when you marry the breadwinner in the family. I was never accepted in the family, man, and I could feel it. I mean, he had a brother. The brother was okay. The brother had an older brother. The brother was okay. There was a sister as well, but the sister was so close to him. So when I came in as well, yeah, I was a threat to both her and the mother. Yeah, I voiced some of these things to him when they would happen, like, you know. And he would just tell me, well, you are not married to them, you are married to me. So ignore everything else that everybody is doing. I mean, he knew what they were doing. So, yeah, I didn't mind most of the things. I tried to tolerate her. Um, and everybody else that I told about what was happening, they told me, well, Faith, that's how it goes in marriage. You know, bekezela, as they say in my culture, like you must just deal with it, tolerate her. Maybe with time, she will be okay. And that never happened. She also judged me for not having a mother. She would tell me that I probably don't know a mother's love because everything she's doing it because she loves her son. I don't know how I don't know a mother's love, because I did have a mother, and she died in 2002 while I was still at varsity. That was before a year before I met him. When the son would verbally abuse me, he would mention the fact that my mother died, and just to hurt me, and I would just ignore him. He would tell me that I'm nothing, and you don't even have family, and you have no one to stand and fight for you. Like, who are you going to go and report me to? He would tell me that I need his mother, I need his family. Therefore, I must just do whatever. I must just deal with whatever. I must just tolerate whatever they were doing to me, because they are the only family that I'll ever know. So I was expected to buy myself into their hearts. I was expected to beg them for their love. I was told that I better be grateful that now I have a family, no matter how they treat me. To me, that didn't sound right, and I was not about to force anyone to love me or accept me, including his mother. I mean, my mother gave me all the love that I needed. When she died, I really, I was satisfied with what she had given me. I didn't lack love in any way. I knew how it felt to be loved. I was told every day of my life how beautiful I am, how worthy I am, how intelligent I am, how I'm going to do great things in the world, and so how proud she is to have me as a daughter. Man, to this day, I know that no one in the whole world would ever love me like my mother did. I think that's why when she passed away, I released her with an open heart, because she was one of a kind, man. And everyone that knew my mother would tell you, like, I used to call her Mother Teresa because my mother was that kind. She would even not give me things at times because she wanted to help a neighbor's child, and she always brought kids in our house as well. This one, she got this one from somewhere, this one needs help, and but I knew that was her heart, that's how her heart was. But we used to fight about this, but I could understand that she was just a mother to everyone, not just to me. So one thing I learned in this whole thing was his mother was supporting him as well as enabling him to continue to abuse me. And she loved every bit of it. The truth is, some of these guys that abuse women and children and end up killing them are supported by their mothers. They're supported by their sisters, and sometimes their brothers. These people are busy clapping hands for them. and they think this is love, while they're being led astray. But that's none of my business. So I remember there was this one day when I was on my way to school, to fashion school at the time in Woodstock. So I got a phone call from a number I didn't know. I'm busy rushing, like I'm late. So this person says to me, I'm looking for someone to make hats for me for church. So I'm asked, how many hats do you need? What kind of hats do you need? Like, I don't even do hats. Like, where did you get my number? She says, no, ignore all of that. I know that you're one of the best people. Whoever recommended me to you told me that if there's anyone who can do this, it's you. But something in my spirit, man, was not right. I just felt like there's someone else behind this. But I chose to listen. I kept on listening. I said, okay, so where are you? She says, I work around, there's a school that's close to Woodstock, Bishops. So she says to me, she works in Bishops. And I know that the ex-mother-in-law works there. I mean, I've been there. So I said, okay. Well, listen, I'm very busy at this time. I'm actually writing exams. I don't have time to make anything. So, no. Okay, let's just meet then. You can do them when you're done with your exams. Where are you based? I know you go to school in Woodstock. I'm like, oh, you know a lot about me. Who told you all of this? It's like, no, don't worry. It's just the person who referred me to you. I really want to meet you. There's other stuff that I need to discuss with you. Like, we need dresses for the church as well. I said, well, no, actually, I'm not interested. When I thought about it after the call, I knew that it was a plan, maybe for a group of women to come and intimidate me at my school, to make me leave my house before the divorce was granted, whatever. But I just knew that it was some plot to make me scared. Yeah, but now when I think about it now, it's easy to judge. The monster mothers-in-law, but I could understand because she had 3 kids with a man who left and married another woman. So I think she was she was bitter from that, and probably never healed from that situation. And now she had a son who was a breadwinner, so she wanted to hold on to the son by all means, and any woman who would come and would be seen as someone who is taking over, who's taking her place, yeah, she was the first to do everything at home. She was the first to get a university degree. He was the first to travel the world. He was the first to have a car. He was the first to get married. He was the first to buy a house, So I was seen as someone who's taking the precious son away. And I wasn't. I remember a day I bought my dream car, and we had decided to go and visit her because we were here in Cape Town and she stays here in Cape Town, so it was just a matter of driving to her house. So we got there, and he was driving because he loved driving the car. Like, I could care less as long as the car was around. So we had parked the car outside the house. She didn't see the car coming in from the gate, So we just walked in, and she peeped outside, and she was excited, she was happy, she was smiling, and asked the son, "When did you buy that one? You didn't tell me that you bought a new car." And the son pointed at me, and he was like, "No, it's not mine. Actually, Faith bought it." And she kept quiet. She didn't say anything. She just started a new conversation. And for me, it was okay, because I knew already how she felt about me, and it didn't matter anymore. There were so many things, man, she did just to show you you're not welcome here, you're not one of us. She would come to my house and be pointing at things and asking, like, how much was that, or who bought that? And I didn't understand, like, how you can do that, come to someone's house. I mean, I know that she always said it's her son's house. Isn't that what they all say? She would always come to the house and ask all these funny questions, and I'll just keep quiet. The son would answer, because I didn't feel like I need to answer any of these questions. So I'll just keep quiet and watch and watch. It just didn't make sense, man. I don't understand how you can do that. How you can be asking, like, who bought this cup, who bought this spoon, when two people are married? Because these people are supposed to be one. But now I understand that this was a way to divide us, you know. So there was a time he bought me sewing machines to support me in the fashion field that I was going into. We had gone to this place to buy the machines. Like, I chose the machines that I wanted, and he said, I want to support you in everything that you do, so I'm gonna buy you these machines that you need. And she came to the house as well, and she asked how much did these machines cost, and he told her. And then, but now this was done in secret, but I just overheard, because they were in the machine room, in the room where I kept the machines. And then she told him, like, it doesn't make sense for an old woman like this to start a new career. Like, she's going to school. All she wants to do is to eat your money. I don't know why you're letting her do this to you. Anyway, long story short, during the divorce, those machines were oh, I came home one day, and my machine room was empty. There were other stuff, man, that were taken, like my clothes and my bags, and some stuff in the study, like printers, and you know. And I asked him, like, where are these things? And he didn't answer me. But when he finally answered, he said, it's none of your business. I bought them, so they belong to me. It doesn't matter where they are. But I got to know that my machines and my clothes and all my bags and all of these things were taken to his mother's house. My daughter came back and told me, Mommy, I saw them. I saw all your things in this one room in her house. I was not allowed to get in there. They shouted at me when I told them that I saw Mommy's things. So that's how I knew where they were. But I was not about to go to her house and confront her. I was not about to call her, because things were just already bad by this time, and the only thing I wanted was to get out of there. So the smear campaign was one of the things that led me to leave the church that we used to go to. Apparently he went around telling everyone in the church that I was a drunk. The whole thing, man, unfit wife, comes home late, she likes to party, this and the other one. Not able to take care of her child. I was an alcoholic. I'm lying. I'm not even attending school. And that's why he's leaving me. And that's why I don't come to church, because I'm ashamed of myself. Because he found out who he's married to after 5 years of marriage. Meanwhile, I had my own reasons for not going there. I mean, the people that I trusted in the church, including the church leaders that I trusted, betrayed me. Apparently, one of his friends, there was a wedding, a friend of mine was getting married. So we went to the wedding, and some of the people from the church were invited to the wedding as well. So one of his friends took a video of me with a glass of wine, I think, on my hand. I don't know what it was, I can't remember. And we were dancing. So apparently this video was taken to show that how drunk I was. I was not even drunk, I was just dancing. And this video was apparently going to be taken to court to prove to the court how unfit I am, and you know, that I was a party animal and unable to take care of my child. And therefore he wants to take the child away from me. I mean, I deserve for him to take the child away from me. He just wanted full custody of the child without visitation. I was not supposed to see the child. Apparently the video was shared amongst the church members, and everyone made fun of it, whatever it was. Everyone judged and gossiped about it, but I understood, like, that that's how it is, like, for most Christians. Like, they would pretend to be someone else in church, and then when they go out of there, they become someone else, whatever. You know, I've been there, I know, I've experienced it myself. But he was doing this in order for he was actually laying a foundation to introduce them to the person that he was cheating on me with during our marriage. I mean, he wanted to make sure, like, when he brings this person, everyone else would understand that he's not just leaving his wife, he's got reasons. And, you know, she's unworthy. Therefore, we understand why he would get a new wife. Anyway, the court didn't use the video, and I won the case, and I stayed with my child. I was able to prove my innocence to the church, to the court, and my child remained with me. And now he was angry now, and he refused to support the child in every way, shape, or form. Now I had another battle now to fight. I had to fight for child support now, and that's another whole process in the courts. After the divorce was granted, it probably took the courts like 3 years. Yeah, 2 to 3 years. I think it was actually 3 years for them to come to a decision for him to pay child support. So we were going up and down the courts, man. The case would be postponed I don't know how many times. And he was playing the law because he had a friend who previously divorced his wife, and he was able to duck, you know, the courts by resigning from his job. Every time the date would come for him to pay child support, he would resign from his job. And the court can't do anything. If a man doesn't have a job, then they can't force him to pay for child support. So the whole time he was employed until the day he has to pay child support, and he would resign and leave his job. That's the game that he played all the years. I think it was about 7 years that he didn't pay child support because of what he was doing. So he would rather not have a job than pay for his child support. Anyway, these are the kinds of people that he kept around him. So he, on the other hand, played those games for about 3 years, and he would get out of the court and jump around, like whenever a court session was finished and the judge would postpone the date, he would get out of the court and jump around and be looking at his phone and leaving voice notes to people that, telling them about, she didn't win. I don't know who he was talking to. I didn't even care, but he wanted me to hear what he was saying anyway. Like, she didn't win, I won. Now we have another 3 months to go, and I know it's gonna be postponed then. I would just actually look at him and feel sorry for the fact that he's rejoicing and he's happy because he will continue not to support his own flesh and blood. One thing he used to say as well, outside the court corridors when we would walk out of the court, he would say, I would never pay child support because I know that you are going to be beautiful because of my money. And I want you to suffer so that everyone can see how much you are nothing without me. Anyway, finally in Jan 2020, which was last year, we were about to have a final court date now where the court was going to tell him to pay child support, to start paying child support. I had let my daughter visit him in December of 2019. I never wanted to stop her from seeing her father, even though he was not paying child support. We were like already out of the house now. It was about 2 years already, almost 2 years, yeah. So I shame, even though he didn't pay anything for his child for 3 years, I would always, whenever he would come to Cape Town and want to see his child, I would make sure that he sees her and spends time with her. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons that some people won't understand that what I did, because I know that most mothers, when a father is not paying child support, they never let the father see the child. And for me, I just felt like this would not be good for my daughter, because regardless of what's happening between us, I still want her to have a relationship with her father. Anyway, on this December 2019 holiday, when she came back, she told me that she wants to go and stay in Joburg. But man, I knew that my daughter was being used, because this man knew that in Jan the court is going to tell him to pay for a child support, and obviously the money for child support is going to be paid to me, and that's not what he wants to happen. So I asked her, like, are you sure about this? Do you really want to go? And she says to me, Mommy, no, I do want to go. He promised to do this and this and this for me. I think for me, the most important thing was for my daughter to go to a good school. I think that was my main thing. I want her to be happy, obviously. And she seemed happy, at the time to go, and I allowed her to go. That was last year. She left in Feb. I allowed her to go. Anyway, I just knew, man, it was a plan to make sure we don't go to the final court date. And to be honest, I was so tired of going to courts that I was okay with it. I was okay with it. So when she left, there was no need to go to court anymore. But I went anyway so that I can tell them this is what is happening right now, so that if anything else happens in the future, they would know, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I had my own things to focus on. And last year, I was at a point in my life as well where I knew that there was something that I need to do with my own life. I knew I needed to gain more knowledge, man, in my field. I needed to gain more knowledge as well, so that I can be better equipped to be an entrepreneur, and I can know the ins and outs of marketing as well. I didn't even know how I'm going to be able to afford this. I found a course, a post-grad course. I think the fees were about 100K per year. I was like, God, if you want me to do this, please come through. Long story short, in Feb, I then got a call that I got a scholarship to go and study this advanced diploma in marketing. So that's what I was doing the whole year last year, and I graduated in November 2020, and that was it. So I really just, I know the video has been long, and I hope someone is going to learn something from it. I hope it's going to give you comfort in knowing that no matter what you go through, help is always on the way. I hope people understand that life is not as simple as we think that it is, and just because someone is quiet when they are going through a divorce doesn't mean that nothing is happening. A lot of things happen. There's a lot of plots that happen against the woman especially. And I don't want women to, just because you are not in a better position financially, I don't want you to think that you are not worthy. I don't want you to think that your life is over. I think if anything, just focus on what you want to achieve in life, man. Like, give yourself a chance to be everything that you were born to be. Give yourself a chance to be great. I can't stress this enough. Look after your mental health in whatever happens in your life, because that's very important. I mean, you can lose everything else. Just don't lose your mind. Allow yourself to lose everything else. Allow yourself to start over. There's nothing wrong with starting over. Don't lose your mind. Do whatever it takes for you to make sure that you don't lose your mind. If you have to go to gym to do that, do it. If you have to meditate to do that, do it. If you have to pray, if you have to fast, if you have to study, whatever that is, do it. Get something that's going to help you focus on yourself. Focus on your own growth. Focus on your own growth. And you'll feel empowered by that. You will get to know yourself. You will get to know what what works for you and what doesn't, and just focus on what works for you. You're going to be okay, man. You're going to be okay. I think I'm an example. If you're looking for an example or proof that someone can go through hell during their divorce and still be okay, I think that's me. Yeah, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I'll be happy to, I mean, I'm not a relationship expert, like I'm not even planning to be. I can only advise you based on my own experience and what I've learned throughout this whole process. Like I can tell you what my experience has been. I can, you know, I can guide you where to go for whatever, but the decision is still with you, and I can only help you from my own experience. And all of our experiences are not the same. We all have different experiences. We don't have the same experience in this. So I'd like to take this moment to thank everyone for subscribing to the channel. And if you like the video, any of the videos, please like them or share them with anyone you think might need them. Also at the bottom of the video there is a subscribe button if you would like to subscribe. There's also a red bell that you can click so that you get informed or notified of all the new videos that I'll be posting. Until next time, thank you.